We would be honored if you would join us.
With such iconic movies and some epic lightsaber battles, who wouldn't want to get cast in a Star Wars film? Well, the role of a lifetime isn't like a quick joyride on Millennium Falcon. Over the years, small tidbits have been released about the strict rules the Star Wars cast has had to follow, from weight loss requirements to special security measures. Learn about the cast rules from the original trilogy and all the way up to the latest film, The Rise of Skywalker.
You found something.
Yes, my lord.
That's it.
Before store shelves were lined with toys and bookstores helped fill in the Star Wars universe with epic stories, George Lucas had a clear vision of where he wanted his franchise to go, and one of those visions included no bras. Yep, in the early filming process of A New Hope, George Lucas had some clear instructions for Princess Leia performer Carrie Fisher when she was first cast in the role. There were no bras allowed in space. Because of the way anti-gravity and vacuums of space change our bodies, there's no way a female could properly wear a bra, as the bra wouldn't be able to change shape. So anytime that Princess Leia could be seen in her white outfit, there was no bra underneath, and some gaffer's tape was used as an alternative. Of course, these rules obviously didn't apply in Return of the Jedi when Leia was fitted for a skimpy bikini while trapped in Hutt's large barge. Chewbacca performer Peter Mayhew spent years performing as the iconic Star Wars character, but there was one time when his on-set performance probably felt a little more restricted. During the filming of Return of the Jedi, the crew filmed all of the Endor scenes in the Pacific Northwest to capture their vast forests. Anytime the crew members or security were near Chewbacca, they were forced to wear vests and bright neon colors. The reason? No one wanted random hunters or hikers to mistake Chewbacca for Bigfoot and actually shoot at him. The rumors on the story persisted for years until Chewbacca performer Peter Mayhew confirmed this himself on Reddit. While the Chewbacca performer was pretty restricted from roaming around the forest all day, the rules seemed to apply more to the crew members and security guards who were forced into the reflective and bright colors. Imagine getting to audition for a Star Wars movie. You would probably think that the process would include reciting classic lines and swinging a lightsaber around. Well, when The Force Awakens began the casting process, this was not the case at all. Director J.J. Abrams went on a secret casting call to keep everything out of the news, and the rules for the process were pretty strange as well. Potential actors didn't read a single line or page from the script, getting a copy of other random screenplay pages instead. Some of the actors, like John Boyega, had to come in 10 different times, and each time, the secrecy remained. The filmmakers would do anything to prevent spoilers and story leaks so early in the process. When an actor did go to audition, there were multiple contracts to sign, and those contracts were just for the audition. Not only did each actor have to sign some pretty major non-disclosure agreements, but so did the agents, managers, or anyone else representing the actor. This made the audition process even more intense, but it did prevent too much hype from leaking out and allowing J.J. Abrams to make casting decisions without too much public scrutiny. Once actors did get cast for The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi, there were even more rules applied when it came to the screenplay. The fake pages from the audition were discarded, but the real script was pretty much kept under lock and key. If actors wanted to learn their lines and study the script, the only way to do so was by visiting Pinewood Studio. While on set, things were strict as well. Actors could not take scripts with them, and there was often a person hired just to keep track of the scripts to prevent any pages from getting lost or leaked online. With internet news spreading like wildfire, even the set from the Star Wars prequel trilogy was vastly different from the newest trilogy. The trend also continued with The Rise of Skywalker. For Mark Hamill's part in the film, he would receive script pages delivered by hand, and the person who delivered the script would wait until he was done to take them back again. The script also gets printed on a very dark red paper, so it's impossible to make photocopies and share the pages with anyone else. By the time the cast is ready to film the movie, you would think that they could talk about things a little, but in the world of Star Wars, the fandom is just too intense. If fans actually knew where the movies were filming, they would have to deal with all sorts of security issues. So to help combat this, a number of Star Wars movies have been referred to as secret names, names that the cast and crew referred to while filming. Famously, the filming of The Return of the Jedi was referred to as a scary movie named Blue Harvest. A lot of filming took place in Arizona, where crew members wore Blue Harvest logos on shirts, hats, and other products. Hotels and nearby businesses would only know the film crew was there for Blue Harvest. The name caught on so much that it was actually used for the title of an episode of the Ewoks animated series, along with the Family Guy parody episode A New Hope. The same tradition continued for A Force Awakens, when J.J. Abrams decided to use the codename Avco, based off the Avco movie theater, where he first saw Star Wars as a child. Avco didn't catch on in the same way that Blue Harvest did, but it did keep the press away. In the Star Wars universe, you cannot go against the franchise creators. In modern-day movies, it's probably best to not speak any ill will against Disney. Back in the day, if you were an actor in the Star Wars universe, you were not allowed to speak out against George Lucas. This rule applies even if you're playing Darth Vader. While James Earl Jones provided the voice for Darth Vader, actor David Prowse was the man behind the suit for the original trilogy. As hype was being built for The Empire Strikes Back, Prowse spoke to fans at a convention, dropping major spoilers about Darth Vader being Luke's father despite not seeing a script for the movie yet. As if that wasn't bad enough, Prowse spoiled Vader's death in Return of the Jedi and then went on to appear in an anti-Lucas documentary entitled The People vs. George Lucas. Well, by 2010, Lucas had enough and officially banned Prowse from attending any Star Wars events. This is how strict the spoiler rule is for the franchise, and one of the reasons you do not openly bash and criticize the original creator. Even after Lucas sold his company to Disney, the ban remains in place, so don't expect to see Prowse at any official conventions anytime soon. Returning to a role over 30 years later not only means the movie-making technology will be different, but so will the actors. Returning to the role of Princess Leia was something very special, but came with a lot of caveats as well. To get back into form for the movie, the actress had to lose 35 pounds, something she wasn't too happy about doing. Fisher was happy with herself and her body, and felt like she didn't need to lose weight to feel happy or portray the role. Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill also had to drop some weight as well, so at least the weight loss regimen wasn't just female-based. After watching the original trilogy over and over again, fans wanted to accept the actors back on the big screen as close to the look as we were used to for the major return. Not only did Fisher have to lose weight for the role, but the hairstylist on the movie ensured that she would have a variety of new looks that matched her previous hairdos from the original trilogy. Luckily for actors like Peter Mayhew and Anthony Daniels, their costumes could keep their bodies covered up, and staying in fit shape wasn't as big of a concern. Besides Darth Vader, one of the more intimidating characters in A New Hope was Grand Moff Tarkin, played by Peter Cushing. As Cushing arrived on set to play the role, the production crew did not realize how big the guy's shoes were. The boots he had for the movie were very ill-fitting, and Peter Cushing was miserable in them. To help stay comfortable during the shoot, Cushing came up with his own rule. He would wear slippers for the remainder of the film. Not only did the slippers provide a lot of extra comfort, but it forced the whole production to change the way the scenes with Tarkin were shot. Everything with Tarkin had to be shot from the waist up or have his feet completely hidden. Imagine if a shot of Grand Tarkin wearing slippers actually made it into the movie. The Star Wars film sets have been known for having a good time. Back in the late 70s, non-stop parties helped to fuel the fun as Fisher, Ford, and other performers mucked it up with all kinds of drinks and other types of recreational activities. There was even a time during filming where the cast got to party with the Rolling Stones. The happy vibes continued with the newest trilogy, as actors Daisy Ridley and John Boyega loved to joke around and goof off on set. And while Kylo Ren portrayer Adam Driver has the ability to be extremely funny and relaxed,
Look, I found Kylo Ren's lightsaber. Look at it up close.
Dude, that thing looks dangerous, man.
he put a more self-imposed rule on himself to be more serious while on set. The reason for Driver's serious nature was to ensure that he could properly get into the head of Kylo Ren and deliver the deep-rooted performance he aimed for in the character. Driver doesn't go full method for his roles, but there were several times where he would keep the same speech patterns and thoughts the same as Kylo Ren to deliver the best performance possible. We all know this isn't just the actor taking things too serious either, because he's hosted Saturday Night Live and we've all seen his funny side before.
I really learned a lot, and people are gonna love the new me.
If you're an actor in Hollywood, appearing in a Star Wars film is often a huge goal, but one that actors few and far between get to make a reality. Thankfully, the Star Wars films get to feature a number of different cameos, but there are strict rules that these actors have to follow when making a cameo appearance on set. Like many of the performers, a non-disclosure agreement must be signed to prevent any spoiler leaks or news to the press. Secondly, if you're a famous actor looking for a cameo, you will most likely be getting completely covered up or providing a voice for a CG character. For example, James Bond himself, Daniel Craig, played a fully covered stormtrooper and we never got to see his actual face. In The Last Jedi, the alien creature Slow and Low was voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Prince William and Prince Harry also played stormtroopers in The Last Jedi. The reveal of these cameo roles typically doesn't come until weeks after the movie gets released. If the cameo performance does get hinted at, then the character name and role is usually kept under wraps. There could even be actors under those stormtrooper suits that we had no idea about. In some cases, cast members are forced to film in pretty brutal conditions, especially with the original Star Wars trilogy. To capture the feeling of a true desert planet, George Lucas brought the cast and crew of the original Star Wars to Tunisia, a small country near the northern part of Africa. Despite being a vast and sandy desert, the production suffered some pretty harsh conditions, including an ultra-rare rainstorm on one of the first days of filming there. Actors were forced to suffer through some intense heat, and one burst of wind sent sand pretty much everywhere. Even with green screen technology and all types of digital film effect, Lucas returned to the area in 1997 for the production of The Phantom Menace. The brutal conditions were once again present, but the cast and crew had a little more time to prep and be prepared for the harsh conditions the second time around. If you were cast in a movie, which conditions would you want to suffer through? Extreme heat or extreme cold? Well, for The Empire Strikes Back, the hot and miserable desert was replaced with the extreme cold as the production headed to Norway. The country was used as the setting for the snow-covered planet Hoth, a key component to the movie's opening scenes. While filming the opening battle scene, things became so harsh that the film crew would literally film right outside the hotel building doors. When a take finished, the crew would run back into the hotel to warm up before going to shoot more footage again. The Finn's 1222 Hotel is now infamous for the harsh conditions the cast and crew were forced to endure for the memorable Hoth scenes. Unfortunately for many of the actors and extras, they had to endure the cold weather. With limited time for natural light, it didn't make sense for everyone to just cram into the hotel between takes. The crew took advantage of the heat while everyone else had to suffer just for the sake of the movie. As a new generation of stars took on roles for Disney's Star Wars trilogy, there were many steps the actors had to take before a second of footage was even recorded. One of the key elements to making an authentic Star Wars film is learning to properly yield a lightsaber. The weapon is so iconic that any type of misuse or poor handling would be instantly seen by rabid fans of the movie. So to help get the actors prepared, they were forced to embark on 3 full months of lightsaber training. Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and Adam Driver all took the lessons together as they learned proper combat and handling techniques. Before even getting to hold the movie prop, each actor had to learn skills with a bamboo sword first. Once they mastered the bamboo, they could move on to the actual lightsaber. For Adam Driver, he was in the unique position to learn his special lightsaber, the one with the wrist guards beaming out the sides. The training paid off, resulting in some epic lightsaber battles, ones that would become pivotal to the new movies. For The Last Jedi, more training commenced, including advanced functions, especially for Ridley, as her character was getting trained by Luke Skywalker in the art of proper lightsaber combat. One of the reasons the new actors had to embark on so much lightsaber training? Because of the rule imposed in the prequel trilogy of films. Due to multiple actors breaking the rule, the cast had to be told that no one on set was allowed to make any lightsaber noises. Yep, it's something that we've all done before, swinging around a toy lightsaber, a stick, or hey, even a broom. But don't worry, because we are not the only ones. During the filming of The Phantom Menace, both Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson ruined takes by making lightsaber sound effects as they attacked droids or fought against Darth Maul. When it came time to film Attack of the Clones, Hayden Christensen fell into the same boat playing Anakin Skywalker. The actor's scenes with lightsabers included a whole lot of mouth noises, and an official rule was formed to keep them banned from set. It's only natural for these performers to make these noises, and the newest cast has learned from their mistakes and built up the unwritten rules through proper lightsaber training. From Luke's sister to Rey's parents, some of the biggest stories in the world of Star Wars involve the relations of characters. We were shocked when Darth Vader revealed himself as Luke's father, or when Kylo Ren was revealed as the son of Han Solo and Princess Leia. What we're trying to say here is that the Star Wars family tree is a pretty big deal, and so much so that Lucasfilms or Disney pretty much wants the movies to speak for themselves when it comes to revealing how characters are related to each other. This goes beyond a basic spoiler rule and really focuses on protecting family secrets within the Star Wars universe. We've already covered how David Prowse somehow was able to give away the father and son relationship between Luke and Anakin, but there have been more recent examples as well. Drifting away from the standard franchise, let's focus on Rogue One, a Star Wars story. The film had a lot of mysteries going into the production, and one interview changed everything and let the rumors begin to fly. Actor Mads Mikkelsen revealed that he was playing the father of Jyn in the movie. He quickly tried to backtrack his statement and realized that he said too much, but it was way too late. Sure, we learn he's Jyn's father really early in the movie, but the whole film was about building the new world and not giving anything away before the film debuted. Yeah, so being in a Star Wars movie is a dream come true for many actors, but there are definitely some things to consider along the way. Which rule do you think is the most absurd? Any great ones that we missed? Who's your favorite Star Wars actor? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Screen Rant for more great content.